uncle of Azad Khan, and Mr. Ilangwam Wangoiningtho, brother of Kiranjit Singh. I now request Ima Ladna to come forward and share her story.
For 60-year-old woman come from Manipur, like me, and peso media persons, members, representatives of the association, and representatives of the student union is a big thing. I wonder whether this opportunity is fortunate or unfortunate one. I wish I would suddenly wake up and I find my son alive. And I wish I did not stand here today. But my destiny designs so. As I stand here today, my heart is filled with a mixed emotions. On one hand, it is a victorious moment for me, because finally my son got the truth. Years after he had passed away. And on the other hand, he cannot be feel the vacuum that he left in my heart. Madugi nimit ado ay khoigi Maitai Charaw nimit March ki tarik 13 2010 ay khoigi khwaidagi chawba festival ni nimituda ay Charaw loiraga ay gi metric paikha gi examination duty gi damakta ay se Imphal thadokpa takhi jiri bam gi damakta pung 10 da ay Imphal thadokkhibani pung 10 ga 10:15 da ay ichanupa ga mobile phone da wari sanagi adudagi di amu 10:45 dagi di network amata phangdabana maram oidana ay sema ga wari saba phangidre ay jiri bam da pung 8 ta thungkhre hek yokbaga many phones were there urging me come soon back ay yamna puning da yam chingna bama phawo loinala next morning da I come back home with the permission of my under officer. Then yum hek europaga ai gi yum da mi ama phaw leiramde ai nungai gi roi haibagi damakta matam du da ai khoi gi isami pina ingon da hai ima ai khoi gi ago do lei gitre hainai ago haibasi ago is the pet name of Orsunjit. Malay hidre na hai. I said don't wonder gre. I fall down unconsciously about 2 days. Adudagi di third day da I yamna nuai tana hange ichadu kai sakhage na hai matam sida ma mokta le na hai. I said le mokta. There I drawn out the call of stories of the morgue where my son was sleeping. I pick up him, hitch him, and ask him, where are the injuries of my your Then there is no answer. It was very cold with him. Yam inga le me masasi. Talalo ting le me. Ai magi masadagi ing madai do kaino haraga ko chi thire ma na basi kadai no ai dana. Do le me si kaino ha bida magi lengban ani makse loi fracture both the arm and falls down freely. Adudagi mo magi right hand gi 5 fingers si totally smashed prak mangkhat ga le me ba adudagi ai khali kari gi no sibo masibo kari gi no sibo mi oi bagi nature mi mo oi bagi nature mi mo oi bagi character sibo kari no hai na hang ye du kana bhau khul bidre but I realized it was not an accident and not a counter fighting and Madukari no have the torture and kill, but it also in cold blood. Madu soy nam ki cold blood to oigani aba angang dubu sahi tarama ban kata angang angai ba angang dubu adu mahina sakti na ot pasibu kari gi no sini da ayang hangi se hojik baham khangde ꯄꯥꯎꯈꯨꯝꯗꯣ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯐꯥꯎꯕ ꯐꯪꯗꯦ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯐꯥꯎꯕ ꯀꯅꯥꯅꯁꯨ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯦꯠ ꯒꯣꯔꯃꯦꯟꯅꯁꯨ ꯄꯤꯗꯦ ꯁꯦꯟꯇ꯭ꯔꯦꯜ ꯒꯣꯔꯃꯦꯟꯅꯁꯨ ꯄꯤꯗꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯇꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯏꯐꯝꯒ ꯂꯣꯏꯅꯅ with human rights alert we reach up to the level of our Supreme Court ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ Supreme Court ꯌꯧꯔꯛꯑꯦ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯇꯤ Supreme Courtna ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯗ ꯑꯩꯉꯣꯟꯗ ꯀꯔꯤ example ꯀꯔꯤ ꯄꯥꯎꯈꯨꯝ ꯄꯤꯔꯛꯀꯗꯣꯏꯅꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯨꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯇꯝꯕ ꯉꯝꯗꯦ ꯏꯐꯝ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯒ ꯀꯅꯥꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯈꯔꯅꯁꯨ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯃꯤ ꯈꯔ ꯈꯛꯇꯪ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯕꯣꯏ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯅꯤꯡꯉꯤꯀꯣ ꯃꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯚ꯭ꯌꯨꯗ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯃꯤ ꯈꯔ ꯈꯛꯇꯪꯗꯤ ꯅꯠꯇꯦ ꯀꯅꯥꯅꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗ ꯃꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯒꯤ half of the population of Manipur victims family gi representatives khajitangduna ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯃꯍꯨꯠ ꯁꯤꯜꯂꯒ ꯃꯐꯝꯁꯤꯗ ꯂꯥꯛꯄꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯤ ꯃꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯑꯥꯏꯗꯤꯌꯥꯗ ꯎꯕ ꯐꯪꯗ꯭ꯔꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯃꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯑꯥꯏꯗꯤꯌꯥꯗꯨꯃꯁꯨ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯎꯍꯟꯖꯅꯤꯡꯉꯤ ꯏꯐꯝ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯤ ꯀꯔꯤꯅꯣ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯃꯉꯥ ꯇꯔꯨꯛ ꯁꯤ ꯈꯛꯇꯃꯛ ꯎꯕꯤꯒꯅꯨ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯄꯨꯂꯤꯁꯁꯤꯡꯁꯤꯅ ꯑꯣꯠꯈꯤꯕ ꯆꯩꯈꯤꯕ ꯍꯥꯠꯇꯣꯛꯄꯤꯈꯤꯕ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯍꯨꯠꯁꯤꯡꯗꯨꯗꯒꯤ ꯈꯟꯒꯠꯂꯒ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯈꯔ ꯈꯛꯇꯃꯛꯅ ꯁꯤꯗ ꯂꯥꯛꯄꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯤ ꯇꯪꯈꯥꯏ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯃꯤꯁꯤ ꯃꯤꯅꯥ ꯊꯣꯛꯈꯤꯕ ꯇꯪꯈꯥꯏ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯇꯨꯡꯗ ꯂꯩꯍꯧꯔꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯤ ꯃꯁꯤꯁꯨ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯗ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯃꯦꯗꯤꯌꯥꯒꯤ ꯊꯣꯡꯗ ꯑꯃꯨꯛꯁꯨ ꯁꯦꯡꯗꯣꯛꯆꯅꯤꯡꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯗ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯈ꯭ꯋꯥꯏꯗꯒꯤ ꯍꯦꯟꯅ ꯁꯥꯊꯤꯔꯤꯕ ꯂꯩꯅꯥꯁꯤ ꯀꯔꯤꯅꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗ in our Manipur Police Commando use a main is a rifle shooting practicing target hojik Manipur moi sijinnagisi matamsida Mr. Prem Kumar Singh a sub-inspector of Imphal West Police Commando is directly related with the mother of my son mahaksini Masi he is in uniform but he never enjoy the constitution which is in a democratic country. Aduga loinana amoksu he doesn't digest the fundamental rights of human being. Masi human right po masak khangdaba uniform dadi laiba masamoksu sub inspector oiba. Masi not a human being but he is the devil. Masi devil ni he disguise himself. Ma masado thum lo laga laiba lo hin cham makhala makak neba. Masi karama makhal gi dandi pira kadori belo. I khangde ko adu masina soul is still alive he will add up all the youths of Manipur ma soina maki chathokrani taphoi soidana compulsory ma chathokrani mangonda minungsi yaude mangonda kari gomba humanity ground da magi minungsi yabde mangonda machi amta leite ai mabu masak uningi yamna popok sai thawai sai sida ma chi haptok ningi ai jak manna I isa da makut amamang one by one I want to cut ti korami adubu ngasi phau ai mangda isa do phau ubo phanggi dre ngasi phau phangde adubu hojik ishona di khoi gi thakta leibanina ai gi icha na mamang hatok bi haba ka thok bi haba mayam sina soida maki di makhoi thawai singduna khoi bu biramgani ha sum hogi dana ngasi si family ai gi kok sidagi thantang pothagi ba aina na han gei waramba ai gi icha do kayamu yamna waramba da bano mangonda yana han ba phu ba horak padagi sum warak paduna magi makut ari makut tek ba phabo phubi ba sum fugai baduna nungum bam paraga sum sugai baduna sum sugai baduna magi makut tappa phabo sugai gi badu warang wada badu aisi waraga khangna la sum leiram badu dagi hauji nimitu da postmortem gi doctor na explain to gi badu dagi ai kitang relief tawre ai box dei sida ai soidana maki asa tawi ai gi mayam gi support ka loinana isoda soidana maki ai ahal loirakpa matamda mama mapa singsi kanagi icha sing dugi mapan tang ga ikoi ni hingjaga doine adubu aigi iraibak sidadi madu tam khidre adubu aina siding gi mamang sida ikoi gi honorable Supreme Court na asuki matik thuna yangna aigi imangda adugumba generiba police person singdo madubu danti piduna next generation da mathangi generation da Manipur gi youth da amukhanna samaina torture and kill habase masi mayak sengna pomut muthat khibase masi phangba habase ithora patna to boloina ai matang sida sum tension jagi
Given me a draft of her speech. It was mixed with Maitillon and English, but I will just read out what she has spoken in detail. For a 60-year-old woman from Manipur like me to come to Delhi and face the media is a big thing. I wonder whether this opportunity is a fortunate or unfortunate one. I wish I could suddenly wake up and find my son alive, and I wish I were not standing here today. but my destiny was not designed so. I cannot run away from the truth. As I stand here today, my heart is filled with mixed emotions. On the one hand, it is a victorious moment for me because my son finally gets justice years after he passed away. And on the other hand, it reminds me that he will never come back. Even this moment of victory cannot fill the vacuum which he has left in my heart. My sweet youngest son, a brilliant student, started his primary education from one of the top schools of Manipur, St. Joseph High School. After his fifth standard, he continued his further studies in the state of Meghalaya. However, he had to continue his studies from the 8th standard onwards in Manipur at the 4th Assam Rifles High School where I was employed. But due to the change of syllabus, he failed in one paper, which was mathematics. Being a mother, I always encouraged and advised him, quoting, "Failures are the pillars of success." There was a year-long gap for the next term examination, and I think it was during this period that had affected his character. So to keep him busy and occupied, he worked part-time as a fuel refilling assistant for one of his uncle's Tata Indicom towers. To me, it was like punishing him because he did not get any leisure time for enjoyment. Now I regret being harsh on him as he did not even enjoy his few teenage days towards the end of his life. He was only 19 years old, my son. I'll never forget the day in my life. It was the 16th March 2010 on the Manipuri New Year's Day. I was going to Jiribam for my service duty at 10 a.m. and reached there at 7 p.m. Many calls were there from home, urging me to come home soon. On the next day, I was back home with the permission of my officers. As I came to know about the incident of my son, I fell unconscious for about 2 days. On the third day, I desired to see my son and went to the morgue at RIMS. There, I drew out the drawer of the cold storage of the morgue where my child was sleeping. He was very cold, and I picked him up, kissed him, and asked him lovingly, "Where are your injuries, my son?" There was no answer. With my mobile phone camera, I took pictures of all his injuries. Both his arms were fractured. Half of his right 5 fingers were totally smashed by a heavy object. There were also 13 bullet holes in his body. Why? Why are they doing so? No one answered me. But I realized that it was no accident and no counter-firing, but it was a torture and murder in cold blood. In Manipur, the police commandos use men as their rifle shooting practice target. Is this the character of a human being? Mr. Prem Kumar Singh, a sub-inspector of Imphal West Police Commando, is directly related to my son's murder. This sub-inspector